The Jackson, Mississippi high school basketball coach facing a lawsuit in federal court this morning after video surfaced of him whipping a player during practice. The coach, Marlon Dorsey, has admitted to paddling students and even offered a written apology. But as Steve Osunsami reports, Dorsey says he did it for all the right reasons.
The images are blurry, but what's happening is clear. The students say that this is varsity basketball coach Marlon Dorsey taking out his anger on an athlete's behind at Murrah High School in Jackson, Mississippi. Coach Dorsey was suspended and issued a statement, but he never said he was sorry, and instead said that he was trying to save these young men.
It's not his job to save our children. They don't need saving, not in that way. They need him to teach them the game of basketball.
The parents of the varsity basketball team are furious and are now suing, accusing the coach of beating their sons with a 5 to 10 pound weight belt beginning in late September, all because they were failing to run the basketball plays correctly. They say the coach whipped one of the boys daily and told team members that if they complained to anyone, they would forfeit the opportunity to play basketball.
This is what we would call coach brutality. A police officer who would hit someone like this would be terminated from his job or accused of violating the person's civil rights.
For now, the coach still has his job, and across Jackson, parents are torn. Some feel he went way too far.
I don't think it's right for anybody to put hands on somebody else's child.
Other parents told us today's children need the discipline.
People look to the coach for help, with their children. If something went on, they say, well, I'm going to tell your coach, They tell your coach, the coach gets you in line. That's how it was back in the day.
The school district banned corporal punishment nearly 20 years ago and in a statement said that it cannot discuss personnel matters. The parents believe that school administrators knew what was happening at practice, but turned a blind eye. For Good Morning America, Steve Osunsami, ABC News.
And joining us now from Jackson, Mississippi is Jason Hubbard, the father of one of the players who says he was paddled by the coach, and attorney Lisa Ross, who filed the lawsuit against Coach Dorsey. Thank you both for getting up this morning. Mr. Hubbard, let me begin with you. Boy, that tape is hard to watch. When did you first become aware that the coach was paddling the players like this?
It was on October the 22nd, on a Friday, when I went to that practice. And that's when I first noticed things were happening.
So you went to practice and actually saw the coach paddling players?
Yes, sir, I did.
What did you do?
First instinct, I was very angry and I was outraged. But my second thought was to be calm and to relax and take it in another matter as far as getting it to stop. And that's what I did to kind of calm myself down.
So you went back to the practice again that weekend?
Yes, sir. I went back that Sunday and I had a phone call, so I walked out of practice. But I asked my son, did it happen again when we got in the vehicle? He said it did.
And then what'd you do?
I immediately went back to practice that Monday evening, and there again, the boys were getting whipped with the weightlifting belt.
Why did you step in and stop the coach from doing this?
My first reaction was to do that. I thought to myself, if I retaliated out of order, the boys would see something that they shouldn't see from a parent and a coach. So I tried to maintain my integrity as well to handle it through proper protocol.
So you went to the principal of the school then?
Yes, sir. I went to the principal that Tuesday.
And from talking to your son and from what you saw yourself, what did you learn about how long this had been going on and what else had been going on in these practices?
My son was hurt during the summer basketball camp. He played 1 or 2 games, but he wasn't there during those times. But from what we understand, from his friends telling him, it was happening during the summer.
But he didn't tell you at the time?
No, he did not, and that was very disturbing to me at that time.
I'm sure it was. I'm sure you would have wanted to know earlier. Here's what the statement from Coach Dorsey. He says, quote, "I took it upon myself to save these young men from the destruction of self and what society has accepted and become silent to the issues our students are facing on a daily basis. I am deeply remorseful of my actions to help our students." Do you accept his apology?
I do, but at the same time, saving our boys by whipping them is not saving them. And I'll say to my own self, to my son, we have an honor roll student. He's not out doing bad things, so saving him from that, we didn't need that.
One of the other parents, Gary Love, the father of a player, said about the coach, he's made them go to study hall, turn in their homework, make them give weekly reports of their schoolwork. It's been all positive with one bad incident. He made a huge mistake, but he's human. Can you buy any of that? Do you understand that side?
I do, but at the same time, I go back to my own personal family. Our son is not a thug, is not somewhere out stealing or doing bad things. So he's an honor student, and to buy into that is kind of an excuse to me.
Ms. Ross, I know you filed this lawsuit. How many players are you representing, and what exactly are you looking for?
I'm representing 3 of the young men in this case, and we're looking to receive compensatory damages for the physical and emotional harm that these young men have suffered. We also want to put an end to Coach Dorsey's actions. We don't want any coach at any high school in America to believe that he or she can physically or emotionally abuse students for the sake of them participating in sports. In this particular case, we believe that Coach Dorsey overstepped any decent lines and violated these students' constitutional and civil rights, and we want to put a stop to that sort of activity.
And you clearly believe that he should not get his job back?
Well, the district's policy calls for them to suspend him or to terminate him. In this particular case, we do not have one isolated incident. We have a course of action on the part of Coach Dorsey where he went in, day after day, and he repeatedly beat these young men. So we think that the school district should take action to him that's commensurate with what he did.
Okay, Ms. Ross, Mr. Hubbard, I'm sorry for what your son went through. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you.